Alright, so this video is going to describe to you the curriculum work that is required of all of us teachers here at East Buchanan in the 2014-2015 school year. So I want to remind you of our overall goals of last year, 2013-2014. We looked at how can we make sure the rigor is what we need it to be for our students. And 2014-2015, we want to layer over the top of that the writing. We want to make sure that we are requiring enough writing for the learning purposes. My goals are always to improve instruction and meet state requirements. So what are those state requirements? Well, they want us to rewrite our curriculum to the Missouri Learning Standards, and we are going to do that by writing logical units of study. We're going to need to get the curriculum online and have access to this viable curriculum, and we need to use data to drive decisions. These two things are going to be done in our CMS, our curriculum management system, which we have chosen Lumens to be our curriculum management system. This data to drive decisions, we do a lot of that already, and this will become part of that as well. Once we get all these things into Lumens, then we'll be able to do what's called mastery tracking and use even more data to drive our decisions. So last year and this year, we chose one course or content or year-long class on which to rewrite our curriculum to organize into these units. Last year you chose your first priority class, so for the elementary regular classrooms that have multiple content, we decided that we would all work on ELA. How you decide on your priority class is it's probably something that's tested statewide. If you don't have any things that are tested statewide, then it would be something that perhaps is tested shortly after you. There are other important criteria specific to your content area. So maybe you teach Spanish 1, 2, and 3, so you decide that Spanish 1 is your priority class this year and Spanish 2 the next year, etc. Of course, this work, we expect you to do it as you go along through the year, like every day or every other day, putting this stuff in, and because it's the most efficient way to do it. If you don't, if you do it in that way, you get done easily, and it just makes it go along a lot faster if you don't wait, and takes 2 or 3 minutes each day if you do the work as you go along through the year. And so this year you're going to pick your next priority class. So for the elementary regular classrooms, that's going to be math. All right, so what does rewriting your curriculum to the Missouri Learning Standards mean? So that means that we're going to make sure that you evaluate your daily activities and your summatives and make sure that they truly reflect the Missouri Learning Standards. And then you're going to align with the standards in Lumen, and then you're going to post all these, your daily activities and your summatives for your priority class in Lumens. So what are these units then? Well, they are, just for a quick review, these unified chunks of ideas that logically lead to understanding of certain standards. They are taught over some extended amount of time, which varies. They have activities that build knowledge, which culminates in this evaluation piece called a summative at the end that gathers evidence of whether the student has mastered those particular standards or not. And keep in mind that summatives don't have to just be written tests or projects or papers. They can also be a performance. So it depends on your content. It could be any combination of these things. So the major tasks in Lumens for every activity that is graded or not, or summative, you are going to be putting these into Lumens. So graded or not means perhaps I have a discussion that we're going to do in class today and it does meet a Missouri Learning Standard, but I'm not actually going to give you a grade for it. Prior to now, we only put in activities that were given grades, but if we have an activity that's not going to be graded but did cover a standard, then we're going to put that activity in there so that we may align it in Lumens and know where we are hitting and how many times we are hitting these standards. So here is the page that is the activity page. So we're going to pick a district curriculum area and we're going to organize into a unit, and then of course do our regular stuff that we always do with an activity. And you'll notice that there are these tabs at the bottom where we are going to align with the Missouri Learning Standards under District Key Skills. We can attach the activities either under Activity Materials That would be something stored on our computer, or activity online materials, which would be a URL, which includes Google Docs. And finally, our summatives are going to go under teacher strategies, and there will be a subsequent video or another video that will describe in detail how to put those things in there if you would like to look at that. So our major tasks then, in Lumens, for every activity, graded or not, you are going to choose the district curriculum area, so organize it into the correct curriculum area. You're going to choose a unit, so organize it into a unit. You're going to align the activity with the Missouri Learning Standard on one of the bottom tabs, if it does align. And then you're going to attach that activity, if it's not just a page in a book that you can describe in the description. And it also could be a summative that you are attaching. And keep in mind that when you are putting these things into Lumens, you actually do it backwards from the way that you design the unit of study. The way we design a unit of study is what we call backward design. You begin with the end in mind. So you have your standards and the summative that is written to those standards. And you start with that, and you look at that, and you say, okay, what activities can I lead my students through that will help them be successful on this particular assessment, this particular summative? And then you go back and you design those daily activities. That's how you design it, with the end in mind, the assessment and then the activities. But I don't want you to get confused, because when you put it in Lumens, you put it in the other way. You put it in daily as you go. So you've already designed the unit, and then you go in and you put them in. Each day you put in the activities as you go. And then finally, when you get to the summative, you put in that summative at the end. Really quickly, the instructional shifts that the Missouri Learning Standards ask us to make sure that we are including are academic conversations, so discussions where we are using opinion and argumentation. We are also using as much writing as we can, writing to demonstrate knowledge, but also just writing to learn. We want to include more informational tests. We want texts. We want higher text complexity. We want to work on those Tier 2 vocab words. And of course, we need more small, medium, and large research and investigations. So by the end of this year, we should add one more class to our curriculum. And remember that I would love to help you in any way that I can, and there will be a subsequent video on how to put all of this lovely stuff specifically into Lumens. Thank you all very, very much.